Well, hi everyone. As you can see, I'm back home in my messy office craft room after having spent a week in Winnipeg at a conference called the Canadian Association of University Continuing Education, which is where I've spent a lot of my career, I guess. Here are a couple of takeaways from that. We are now apparently entering fourth wave learning, which is learning for those of, well, not those of us, but those 85 and up. So, lifelong learning is never going to stop. The older we get, the more intense it's going to get, maybe. I don't know. And we also talked a lot about micro credentials. So, that really is where a lot of attention is going right now in university continuing and professional education. And I imagine that at some point you will be looking at micro credentials yourself. You might not want to go back for a graduate degree, for example, or even another year. But as you move through your career, you're going to want to pick up different kinds of skills and tap into trends, for example, in your profession or in your workplace, or personal kinds of enrichments. And so micro credentials are big. AI, of course, was a big issue as well. We had a lot of interesting discussions about AI in teaching and learning, and we heard a keynote from a man named Chris Deed, Dede, who has done a lot of work on AI in education and is now running a research center at Harvard that's looking at that. So that's an interesting thing to pursue if you're interested in looking at what the thinking is in education, both public, private, and higher education, as well as continuing in adult and professional education. In any event, Stephanie and I have been taking a look at the discussion forums for modules 1, 2, 3, and also 4. Lots of discussions in modules 1, 2, and 3. I don't see too much in module 4 yet. Don't forget that time is beginning to telescope for you, so don't leave it too long to enter the conversation. Because we have now opened up the discussion modules so you can post anytime, please take advantage of that. I don't promise that we're going to go back every day and look at module 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and so on, because there are an awful lot of you. But we will check in every once in a while to previous discussion forums. And again, as we go, you'll be scaffolding your ideas, and we'll be scaffolding the ideas as well. Enjoying the discussions immensely, giving me lots of new insights myself. Just taken a look at Module 4, and we're talking about, or is it 5? We're talking about spirituality. And again, having looked at all the resources and thinking a lot about spirituality, I find myself again plunged into memories of my childhood, my upbringing, the kinds of rituals that I've participated in and not questions, the kinds of rituals that I have participated in and questioned, um, how my um, how my own spirituality has changed as I've gotten much older and have experienced the death of quite a few loved ones, my parents and my sister, Sue, from breast cancer, and aunts and uncles and friends now that are starting to die. And believe me, it gives you a new sense um, of the meaning of your life, I guess. I'll just share an experience for when my sister died of cancer about not quite 10 years ago. She was my younger sister, and I realized at that time that there was no use, no purpose, no meaning in asking why her, why cancer, why did cancer strike Sue? Because it's a biological thing. There is no rhyme or reason to it. There is no grand plan from anybody to take people sooner than others. It's biology, and so there is no meaning really that you can imbue it with. That was a turning point for me in my own spiritual journey, and of course, for decades, been railing against Christianity's patriarchy and exclusion of women in many ways. And I'm really interested to hear what your spiritual journeys are like or have been like. And you come from different kinds of traditions. It will be a really, really rich discussion to share with all of us. So I hope you do. And we're moving on quite quickly now. So again, if you're doing challenge assignments, be sure not to leave them till the last minute because those do have cutoff dates. And the discussions now don't have cutoff dates, but still, try to keep up with the rest of your crew. If you want to name your group a different name than A, B, C, D, E, F, G, please email me or email Stephanie Cami, and then we will go in and we'll change those labels for you. So keep up with that discussion. You don't have to confine it just to where it says talk about your group. You can bring it up at any time. So again, good to hear from you. Have a good time with this module, and we'll check in again in a few days.